Okay, good morning. We are here in Tibuga in Iligan City, and I am with my friend who is the executive director of Team Humanity. His name is Bong. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Doc.
Yeah. So last night we came from the airport, and we ended up to this beautiful place. What is this?
Yeah.
What is the future plan of this beautiful place, Bong? Anong?
Well, good morning to all. Well, Team Humanity is contemplating, to partner actually with the owner of this place in our future engagements. In fact, we're quite happy that we're being accommodated during the height of war in Marawi when we have some initial engagement in terms of medical mission feeding program and other humanitarian aid here in Marawi, especially those who are victims presently residing in different IDP camps here. Well, this place actually, we would like to inform that we're looking to have this build and then establish this our center for Team Humanity and other partners, Doc.
Yeah. Because we need a place where we can stay. Say we would like to stay overnight.
That's right.
Accessible
That's right.
and near the evacuation centers.
That's right. And the thing is, this is very strategic because this is just along the highway and not too far from Marawi and from Iligan City. So in times when there are some volunteers who would like to stay over, and this place is just perfect for us all.
Yeah. And maybe later on we will have documentation of the different areas of this particular.
Yep.
Should we call this a vacation home before,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a family home?
It looks like one, before, but yeah. And right now, I guess the owner is they not really using this on a regular basis, and then accepting some credit. But Team Humanity and other, like, of course, like your foundation, your foundation, Beautiful Heart Foundation. If we can make some kind of good partnership, then probably we can ask the owner of this house to concentrate this place for our activities here in Iligan in Marawi City.
Yeah, the good thing is you have so much space, even here at the backyard. Can you just take, because the way I look at this, when we have a big team or different organizations, if they will not fit in the bedrooms there, they can set up tents here where they can stay overnight.
Correct, because we still have a lot of space here at the back.
Yeah.
So we could probably put up some kind of shanties or
it will be very cost. It's very cost effective for an organization to have like a halfway home or some kind that say they would stay for a week. They would stay for a week to implement a program.
And you can even develop the back as a training center.
Training center at the same time. And in terms of storing valuables, there is a place there.
We got a pretty good enough space inside. And more so, we can, the front of the building can accommodate around 8 to 10 vehicles where we can put them in safety. Yeah.
In fact, if say storage is a problem inside the house, we can construct a storage here at the back too.
Pretty big. Yeah, pretty big.
Because there's room, no? And the fact that it's along the highway.
It's along the highway,
It's peaceful.
Very peaceful actually. Yeah, very peaceful actually.
And after the hard day's work of medical missions, outreach program, feeding program, training program, you end up relaxing here.
You have just the sea behind us.
And even monitoring teams.
That's
normally say, okay, we can get the support of international organizations. I'm sure they will be sending monitoring teams. Now, well, there isn't really. The normal way is they stay in hotels. But that will cost them money.
It's pretty expensive.
But if they want to immerse at the same time in a typical Filipino culture and setting, this is the best
Yeah,
place.
this is the perfect place. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is why we would like to get some documentation of the place, even inside.
We are too far from the market, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, some business establishments just a few meters from here, where you can buy your food provisions and other things eventually.
I wonder if we can even meet some local fisher folks here.
Well, sometimes they just pass along.
that
Hopefully,
that there are some organizations, whether local or international, who would like to help the poor fisher folks in our country. So
in fact, there's one there fishing right now.
yeah, so we'll take we'll take advantage of this area as a way to introduce our future undertakings.
Undertakings,
And
that's
we're
right.
hoping that as we
That's right.
show this video, we will get more support,
yeah.
internationally, locally,
Yeah.
government organizations, non-government organizations.
And by the way, this is just the place. This place is just about 40 minutes from Marawi. 30 to 40 minutes from Marawi.
Yeah. So
from Marawi City.
yeah, if the objective is to help the victims of the Marawi siege, this is the perfect place
Yeah, that's right.
where they can stay overnight
Yeah.
for a week.
Yeah.
That's why we will develop this.
Yeah.
And how to develop this is we need support, financial support.
Yeah.
We need other organizations to pitch in.
That's
How much, you see, if say an organization would donate a certain amount of money right now for future accommodation, we will accept it.
Yeah.
And that's,
That's
like
right.
a deposit.
That's right. That's right. And we will like to promise, and we will ensure that all their support will be put in the right.
Right. Yeah.
Will be directed to its purpose. Yeah.
So, but for accommodation, we really need, we found the right place. It's just that for this to be improved
You need
and
financial
for us to
support.
close the contract with the owner,
With the owner,
and who knows, the owner might even offer this in a very
Yes, sir.
reasonable rent.
That's right. That should be part of our.
We have to
Of
also
the
convince
advocacy.
the owner.
Yeah,
the
this is
owner,
part of the advocacy,
the
yeah.
owner themselves.
Yeah.
If they see that this is not something for profit, this is for the community, this is for outreach, and this is an ideal place, I think we can even negotiate with them.
That's right, Doctor.
Yeah. So again, we are appealing for support,
Yeah.
financial, in cash or in kind. Right now, our focus is just the Marawi victims.
Yeah.
But we have long-term for the whole of Mindanao. We have some. Bong is an expert.
Yeah.
Bong, tell me what you have started here in Mindanao. Not even before the Marawi siege.
Well, we start Team Humanity, which stands for transformation through environmental and agricultural management for humanity. We started sometime 2005. All right, there were some kind of informal and formal and informal engagement with different stakeholders, like the local government units, government agencies, National Government Agency, Department of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and of course, as I've said, the LGUs, in trying to penetrate and address the needs, the priority needs of our constituents, especially in the countryside, those who are particularly affected by conflict. So we started focusing our interventions here in several identified areas, especially those who have undergone social injustice, some kind of economic repressions, or areas that have not really been reached out by all of these programs of the government. So that's where our focus has been before. Then we've been into several kind of program, like one we have, for instance, in Cotabato area, in Arm area, we have this Fishing for Peace project in partnership with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the local government unit of Cotabato province, where we have developed several fish cages and fish pens using the natural resource of Liguasan Mars, and then transform this into some kind of different livelihood along the Liguasan area, where the local folks could engage themselves into some kind of livelihood on a daily basis, and that at the same time we can keep them away. We can keep them away from conflict and from the influence of all these lawless elements. So that's where we started. We also started doing the project. Basically focused on some kind of on three components. We have some infrastructure support, we have some livelihood support, and more than that, we try to parallel this with some kind of capacity building among the local government unit who manages the community, and then the community themselves, be it people's organizations, civic organizations, farmers organizations, fisher folks, whatever. So that's how we started. And then we also have some kind of program for IDPs. I mean, sorry, the entire indigenous peoples. And then also with our Muslim communities down on those areas like Cotabato, Sarangani, South Cotabato, of course, and then the entire area of Maguindanao. So these are the projects that we did before, and even until now we try to stretch out our interventions until 2010 with conceptuals in different projects that are tailor fit to the needs of our constituents which areas are under conflict, and of which also at the same time where there are potential for production, because we've noticed that most of these areas that are conflict are very productive, and nobody's trying to assist them, nobody's trying to help them. And then in our own little way, Team Humanity is there to reach out, try to organize, try to support in every way we can. It doesn't have to be grandiose. What matters most here is that we're there to put up a one step ahead in whatever assistance we can give. So, and eventually that kind of engagement grows, with God's help. And then we're getting some support right now. Right now, this year, prior to the Marawi siege, we were able to get some assistance also from China Foundation for Peace and Development. We were able to get some, we have some kind of projects with them, like they extended some funds for potable water system and school buildings in Davao City. And there'll be a lot more that we continue to engage ourselves with different partners. And then, of course, we're happy that we found, and I know Dr. Millendez here, who has this Beautiful Heart Foundation. It's just a pure translation of what he's been doing since 2005. I guess also, Doc.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're celebrating our 12-year
anniversary.
December.
Yeah. They've been doing so much, and then it was God's intervention for me that we met together, and then we share the same passion and advocacy in trying to help the marginalized people or marginalized Filipinos in the countryside in the Philippines. And I've been saying no one and nobody could help us but us.
Yeah.
As all Filipinos, we have to put our acts together. For whatever reasons, we're here to help build this country again, take its pride again, and stand as one nation. Yeah.
And when you say Team Humanity, I think it's a very good umbrella for any other organization to be part of the team.
Yeah, that's right, Doc. Yeah. As you made mention, we're calling partners. We're calling partners. We don't have the monopoly of solutions. We don't have the monopoly of programs. We're calling partners in every field they can be part of it, in building and trying to decide. So we enjoin more partners to be with us, to join us. And
As
then
part of Team Humanity.
As part of Team Humanity.
Yeah.
And by the way, one of our focus is, as far as agriculture is concerned, we push for organic agriculture. And for environment, we push for biodiversity. We push, and one of our program that we are really trying to bring in the countryside and even in the urban areas is how to climate-proof and calibrate development by trying to consider and factor in climate change, which I guess the one that really threatens us right now. That's the most.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we know that the future of any country would depend on how the youth would respond. The young generation.
Young generation, that's right.
So can you mention about efforts how to stimulate the minds of these young people, because they are the future of any country.
Just recently, having said that, we found out that the youth, there's this UN data, a couple of years ago. The youth loses somehow their active participation in nation building. So Team Humanity is trying to initiate the youth and organize the youth to take an active participation in the social transformation process. So just recently we launched, we call it Kabataang Magsasaka. Okay, Kabataang Magsasaka.
In English, that means
young farmers, the young farmers, alright? Young farmers and fisher folks. So we organize this, calling all different youth organizations, our advocates, our scholars, the farmers themselves and the fisher folk themselves. We try to bring in their interests and put them together in one program. all right, where we can have a vital and significant participation in trying to craft develop actually a comprehensive Philippine agricultural program where they can take an active participation and be involved. The interest is to mainstream one is come up with interventions that are tailor-fit to the different areas identified as far as agriculture is concerned. We also invite them to craft policies, policy directions that will really help develop a better agricultural program that will really address food security in this country. At the same time, as I've said, it has to be climate proof. So we tag it as a developing climate proof commodity, climate resilient communities with climate proof commodities. And the youth are in the forefront in doing this. More so, the youth, Filipino youth, our data has it that from 56 years old below, there are only more Filipinos participating in agricultural development. And that is why exactly we try to be in the strength of the youth right now to participate, because we can only capitalize what we have. We're practically Philippines is practically an agricultural country, and that's what we can start with. So by bringing all the talents of our youth, strength of our youth, especially the farming youth, probably we can somehow we can have a significant contribution in developing a good economic program for our country, building our country back again to its pride and glory, and then have especially in our participation in the food security program for all Filipinos right now.
I'm sure you have already started the program with the youth. Can you mention them? Like, what have you started so far? In fact, this can be a training center for the youth.
Yeah. Right now we identified. We already have organized our youth in different regions. Okay. Just recently, the last that we had was in Iloilo, in Visayas. So we have enough youth right now there, and they're being identified into different field of interest. And then the idea, like for instance, some are more interested in organic agriculture, so we put them there and extend some support, right? From training, from bringing in some provisions for seeds, and then come up with a good program, map it well, trying to ongoing capacity building also at the same time. In Davao City, we also have our group there, and they are being identified according to their interest of different crops. Okay, so the interest right now is we try to color code everything. Our program for the youth. If there is based on the crops available, what we call it roadmap for every region in the Philippines. For instance, in Davao, our best crops that we have cacao, banana, and some of our youth are already engaged in this development and production of these crops. So what we're doing right now is to capacitate them, okay? Then go beyond what is conventional farming. We go in value adding, try to link them with the right market, try to observe the entire value chain analysis process, where in every component they can have an active participation, from research, from production, from nursery development, and all with the observance of all those protocols until to the marketing component. And also by doing such, we try to keep them away from the unscrupulous traders, which really put them that actually eat a lot of supposedly income. So because of this practice of unscrupulous traders, so we try to cut that in the process also at the same time. Of course, as I've said, we have a lot of youth right now engaged in organic farming, especially on rice production, vegetables also, and even in livestock. So me being once an employee of the Department of Agriculture, so we have several concepts already in mind that we can bring in to the interest of our youth, and then really put the hands, the heart, and the passion of our youth into agricultural development in the countries where they, in specific areas peculiar to their interest. Yep.
And you mentioned about a former government employee, right?
Yep. Yes,
and now you're coming in as non-government organization. Do you think it will succeed as a non-government organization in Team Humanity?
Well, I've seen some success I've seen this type of engagement, what we're doing right now as an NGO, as a civil society organizations, we complement with the existing programs of the government. We're not here to compete. We're here to reinforce what the government has been doing. Things that the government, in the absence of their resources probably, in the absence of good manpower, we're here to reinforce. And we continue to be a partner, to be conduit, to be a supporter, to be at the same collaborator of all government programs. We are just trying to improve probably, or to reinforce what they're doing right now, especially in areas that they could hardly reach. So at the same time, we have a lot of people right now that are innovative, especially among the youth. But they don't just have the channel, they just don't have the mechanism, the access to bring in this and integrate this in local government program. And it has to be mainstream. It has to, all these programs in mind has to be mainstream in the local government unit. Otherwise, for lack of support, it could hardly sustain.
Right.
But with a good partnership with the government, as from the private sector, I think that there will be a lot of successful in the future, for,
And I think
especially
the
for
key
youth.
really is for them to join Team Humanity.
Yeah, that has been our crusade. We call for more support. We enjoin more organizations to be part of us. We are here to federate, consolidate all this interest to help rebuild our country again. We lag behind in terms of development right now, especially among our Asian neighbors. So there's so much thing to do right now. Yeah.
Now, as the founder and president of the Beautiful Heart Foundation, we would like to document the little help that we will be giving to Team Humanity. So we will go there.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc.